And then this coming weekend is the first fight of 2022 that I am pumped about. This fight card, I'm about it.
Well, you was hyped about the heavyweight card, right?
No.
I ain't get you hyped on the...
No, I was okay watching it, but this one is like, I kept looking at the calendar. I was like, all right, when is that fight coming up? Gary Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Mark
in action, and Mark Magsayo.
Yeah. That's going to be a really
And
good
the
fight.
card is really good. So King Tug fights on the opener.
Nice.
And obviously his 2 losses are to Gary Russell and Chris Colbert.
Yeah.
No shame in that.
No.
Why we get Gary on?
I don't know.
Yeah. Gary, he's been dealing with some stuff. We'll get to him. The other fight is Subriel Matias. In a rematch, he got upset against Petro Ananian. We'll go with that. I think that's it.
He was on a run. Yeah, he got upset.
Yeah, upset, but they're going to rematch. Really good fight. It was
Puerto
action,
Rico, yeah.
action fight the first time around. But Gary was obviously lost a brother during this last couple years, maybe year and a half range. And then his dad's been dealing with some medical stuff. Had his foot amputated. So he as you know, he's like the
backbone.
Yeah, he's the big brother.
Big bro.
So he's the one that a lot of that. So in the media call, he was kind of explaining that. Like, I've been doing a lot. As we know, he trains his brothers as well. Yeah. So seems like a lot's been on his plate. So I think it'll probably be good for him to get back in there, get to do what he loves.
Yeah.
That fight is going to be really fun to watch.
It's
gonna be such a fun matchup.
I think it's going to be fun to watch. A big part of me feels like Gary's going to use like so much intelligence and experience that it's going to... I hate to say it's going to be an easy night for him, but something tells me this is going to be as much fun as we think it's going to be.
Yeah.
I got a feeling it might be one-sided.
And I think part of the fun that comes from it is almost similar to like that Deontay Wilder experience of Magsayo can put you out at any moment. So I think you're correct in saying, Gary, the ring IQ, movement, hand speed, like I think he checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
But if he's lax for a second, curtains.
All it takes is one.
And all it takes is one. I mean, we saw that with Magsayo fighting Julio Ceja. Ceja was winning. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, Ceja was crumpled in the corner, and that's it. So
I'll be interested to see how Emmanuel Stewart used to talk about this all the time with guys once they were, I'm pretty sure Gary is 30 now. Once they were in that part of their career, they can have problems matching the enthusiasm and energy of a younger fighter. So I'm just curious with that. He's only been able to fight once a year. He's getting older in the lower weight classes. Yeah. Guy relies on his speed a lot. Magsayo, if nothing else, I think he's going to come out with a lot of energy and will take his shots.
And is big for the weight.
Right, a big guy, right.
People marveled at the picture of you and him next to each other. They're like, how the hell does this guy fight at 126?
Yeah. And to your point, the separation, I believe, with Keith Thurman and Gary Russell is Gary... It's his decision to be inactive. It's his decision. He's like, I'm taking care of my health. I'm gonna fight when I want to fight. I don't know how the hell he's held on to that belt, but God bless him.
That's the big question.
Yeah,
God bless him.
Longest
for it.
reigning champion in boxing right now. To my knowledge.
And then, but the other side, you're talking about matching that level of intensity and excitement,
activity.
It's real. I agree with you. I'm interested to see what happens. That's gonna play a major role in this fight. Keith Thurman on the other side did not choose to have these layoffs. At least not 100%. He's had some injuries. He's gotten sick. The list goes on. I got a feeling that he's really excited to burst back on the scene, where on the other side, you got Gary Russell like, I'm just going back to work.
Clocking in.
Yeah, I'm just clocking in.
And is he excited to get back on the scene? Because he's kind of like Keith Thurman in 147. We forgot. We literally stopped talking about Keith Thurman for years.
We had to.
You're talking about Gary?
Yeah, Gary.
Right.
I'm not really excited about this because I want to see Gary up in there with the big names.
Right.
I feel like he's right there, but he just, like you said his health and I'm ready to go.
No, I was saying that Gary Russell has chosen to be
that's what I'm saying.
Active. Yeah. And so for him,
there's other circumstances.
Of course, there's other circumstances, but with his inactivity, I've had a conversation with him.
Okay.
He says, man, I'm never gonna force anybody to get me in the ring when I don't want to get in the ring.
Okay.
I'm taking care of my health, and that's what don't nobody.
And you know where he's coming from as a boxer,
right? And he was talking to me all about longevity and all that. It was funny you asked why we didn't get him on the show. He called me randomly one morning. This was years ago.
I think you told us on the podcast.
Said the story. Yeah.
I was over at Isola Bella. Like that was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
He called me randomly. I'm like, who who is this? Who am I talking to? Man, it's Gary. I'm like, Russell. He's chosen to be inactive, and he's chosen to have his career the way that it is. And so in a lot of ways, I feel like it's a situation where he feels like I'm just punching the clock. I'm excited to see him. I think we're going to get the best of him. I'd like to think that this is going to be relatively one-sided easy night for him because I know how intelligent he is, how fast and sharp he is. But then on the same token, when you got a guy in front of you that's not willing to go away and then has all this energy, and when I will speak as a fighter that was once young, when you got all this energy at some point and you're not able to get off, you're going to say, fuck it. And you go out there with all that energy and do what you do something. What happens?
That's most Shawn Porter fights.
And we'll see what happens when that moment comes for Magsayo, because I got a feeling it's going to have to come for him.
And I think even to Ant's point about wanting Gary in there with the top guys, which I 1,000,000% am on board with that.
Yeah.
I think at least, if anything, this is a really fun mandatory.
Yeah.
Like this is, I mean, you talk about.
We don't get very many mandatories like this.
You want him to fight a young guy, and even if it was a young, like unproven guy, you'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
But this is a guy that's just largely still unproven.
I was about to say, he's still a little unproven, but
crazy power.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, if you're gonna force Gary Russell into a mandatory, which, and
a big kid, like you said, not like King Tug, who's a good fighter, but a small guy.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think that's gonna be a really fun fight to watch. I am excited to see Gary back in the ring.
Filipinos have been known to pull off some upsets, so
buddy,
you gotta watch out.
What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG, Ant with 2 T's. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right, just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do. I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brenagh.
Carson A. Merk. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.